Okay, so looking at example 6a, we are going to find the sum of this series. So the way we do this, there's a couple tricks to this because this looks a little bit different than our formula. So what I'm going to do is this number in front, when you have a constant times a function times I, that constant's called a scalar. You don't have to remember the name scalar, but there's a property to it. And that property says is you can put it out in front. So I'm going to multiply it to the sum of that series. So in other words, when I go and do my substitution into the formula, so our formula, if we go back to our formula, this is n, which is 5, times n plus 1, which is 6, divided by 2. And from there, we'd go and figure out our value. Okay? For letter B, we have a bit of a problem. Notice the problem here. All our formulas start at 1. This one doesn't, so I cannot use those formulas as they're given. Now, there are things I could do to use those formulas, but it's going to make this more complicated than it needs to be. So what I instead am going to do is just do direct substitution. I'm going to start at 3, plug in and all the way until I get to 7. So in other words, we're going to get 3 squared minus 1 plus 4 squared minus 1 plus 5 squared minus 1 plus 6 squared minus 1. And again, we're going to end when we get to that upper bound. So 7 squared minus 1. Then we'd go and figure out what that value is.